again. Welcome, Comadres, to our first GALentine's Day national event. And like Maria was saying, this is our second event in our Comadres speaker series. Today we have love and relationship coach Lisa Velasquez over there. Hi. Who will help us to get in alignment with love and the love we desire and deserve. So about Lisa Velasquez is the founder and ladypreneur behind Lisa Talks Love, a holistic love style coaching company for professional women. Lisa helps passionate women break through and heal unhealthy dating and relationship patterns to reignite their self-love and align with the love they desire. She has an intuitive gift for getting to the heart of the matter of what's blocking you on your love journey. Lisa attended Columbia University for a master's degree in clinical psychology. She is a certified sex therapist, certified sexuality educator, and certified facilitator for preventing adolescent pregnancy. As a serial entrepreneur, love coach, and speaker, Lisa's passion for self-love, women's entrepreneurship, and building wealth from the inside out has led her to design love coaching programs and a membership to cultivate a community of women around the world who live well, date wise, and love sexy. So without further ado, I present to you all our speaker, Lisa Velasquez.
Thank you so much, Marilyn. Am I unmuted? Okay.
We hear you.
Thank you so much, Marilyn, for that beautiful introduction. And thank you for inviting me to be a part of this. And Maria, thank you as well. Thank you, ladies, for what you've created with this beautiful community. I mean, right now, we really need community, and it's beautiful at this time during a pandemic for there to be this amazing opportunity for all of us to come together from all over the world. And what a beautiful time, right? For GALentine's Day, right? We get to celebrate all areas of love. And I'm just grateful to be here with you all. Because I know you could be anywhere else. You could be watching Netflix. You could be doing anything else, but you chose to be here tonight. And I think that's very important to think about because you chose to connect for sisterhood, right? So today I'm going to share with you, align with the love you desire. Okay. And I really want us to focus on 3 areas with this where we get to talk about our self-love, our sisterhood, right? Our female relationships, and how that can pour into our romantic lives as well. So I want everyone to get comfortable with wherever they're sitting and close their eyes. Close your eyes and get comfortable wherever you are. So I want you to take a deep breath in and let it out. Take a deep breath in and let it out. And take one more big deep breath in and let it out with a sigh. And keep your eyes closed. So I want you to think about a time in your life where you felt grateful for yourself, right? I want you to think about there was a time where you felt filled to the rim with self-love, filled to the rim with self-worth, felt truly cared for by yourself on your own, that you took the time to nurture you. What did that feel like? Did it make you feel powerful? Did it make you feel a little nervous? Did it make you feel different than the people around you in your life? Or did it make you feel free? Like you were truly being who you are, the woman that you are, the goddess, the queen that you truly are from the inside out. Have you been feeling like her lately? That goddess and queen that you truly are? Or have you been feeling disconnected? Has the quarantine been making you feel drained of your feminine essence? Are you sometimes thinking, what's the point of taking care of myself? I have so many things to do for others or for work. or just around your home. Sometimes you're just feeling a little bit drained and not sure even where to get back on your self-love. Take another deep breath in and let it out. I want you to think about a time where you felt grateful and deeply appreciated by a woman in your life. A relationship that you have that you deeply care for. Whether that's a female relative, a friend, a coworker. What did it feel like to feel that person's gratitude? And what did it feel like to also feel grateful for them? If that's a different person, I want you to think of a feeling that you have for a female friendship you have right now in your life. That female friend that holds you accountable with love, that's there for you, that has been there for you in some of the most challenging times in your life. How did it feel to be supported by this female friend? And if it was more than one, how did it feel to be supported by these women who see you for who you really are, even on the days where you don't even see yourself, that are right there to have your back? Have you been connecting with them? Or has the quarantine had you not connect, right? Has the pandemic had you pull back from your friendships because you're not feeling like yourself? Or has this time in the pandemic and the quarantine made you realize, wow, I don't think I have the female friendships that I really want. I feel like the women in my life aren't supporting me, that they're not healthy to be around. I feel drained from those relationships. In fact, some of those relationships don't give me the space and energy to tap into my own self-love. They make me doubt who I am. Take a deep breath in, let it out and let that go. And I want you to think about a time now when you felt loved by a romantic partner. Could be now, could be in the past, but think about a moment where you felt safe, loved, seen, heard, and honored for that beautiful goddess and queen that you are, in your authentic feminine power, being who you truly are as a woman. That multidimensional woman, that boss woman, that loving, nurturing woman, that sassy woman, that introverted woman, all the things that you are, right? Celebrating all of you in all of your moods, right? You never have to be one thing as a woman. The beauty of you is that there's so many beautiful things about you that are being celebrated by that partner, right? In the past or in the present, and just holding on to those memories. And what if you don't have that partner yet and you do want one, right? Think about what it would feel like to be received as who you are authentically as a woman, in your full glory, self-loving, having healthy relationships, beautiful sisterhood that would support you to connect with that divine love for yourself, that would hold you to not be with someone that's unhealthy. But right now, I want you to think about, what if you feel challenged? What if you're saying, well, Lisa, I feel disconnected from the partner I'm with right now. And if you're feeling disconnected, what does that feel like right now where you don't get to be yourself? How does it feel to not be seen and not be heard? And you don't have sisters to speak to about these things that you're going through. I want you to take a deep breath in and let it out. Know that you deserve a love that sees you for who you are and accepts you and embraces you for who you are. That's the love that you deserve to have. So as we talk today about self-love and sisterhood, and how when we have that full self-love and we cultivate those healthy female friendships that support us and ground us and anchor us as well as our self-love anchoring us first, this can support you when you make choices in your current or future relationships. But that all starts with you having the foundation of your self-love. So open your eyes, ladies. Just wanted to start us with a grounding meditation and recognizing that life is constantly moving, right? Where I feel like the present moment can leave at any minute. But I think it's really important to touch in and understanding that each one of those areas of your life or like all those relationships are should not disappear based on your relationship status. So the foundations of everything I do with love coaching starts with you. Your love life starts with loving you. It doesn't start with loving someone else. And when you cultivate that relationship with yourself, it will show you how you show up in the world, right? Loving yourself is not something you do alone. And people a lot of the time say, well, I got to go love myself. Well, yeah, you get to go love yourself. But the true test of your self-love is how you show up honoring your boundaries with others. Are you respecting what it is that you want in your life when you are with your friends, with your family, with your children, right? Or are you going against what you know is right and honoring you for the sake of keeping these relationships, and you're losing yourself in the process? So I want you to get that your self-love matters first, and it's not selfish, right? It's self-oriented, it's needed, it's it's literally the foundation of your self-respect. And I always say that your self-love is the wisdom and maturity to make decisions on your own behalf that will deeply impact your emotional and physical well-being. I know that was a lot, but think about it. As you've gone on this journey of womanhood, you are wise, okay? You've learned lessons and you've matured, right? So as you've matured and gained wisdom throughout this, you know now that when you're making choices in self-love, it's really about, well, I got to start making choices that are going to be for my physical and emotional well-being versus, FOMO. I need to have something right now. Well, you could want like a bag of cookies, but eating that whole bag of cookies, okay, like, is that going to help you? Like, is that going to help you to have the whole bag? So little things that we start with like that, like maybe you should just have one or two, not the whole bag, but recognizing that if you're interested in want to eat a delicious cookie, you can, but you also recognize that eating a whole bag is not going to be good self-care, right? You recognize that the overindulgence isn't going to be self-care. And the same thing with friendships, right? If you have female friends that they want to have fun with you and you want to go out, but in the way that you know they're going to go out, it's not going to support you. And they're making fun of you because you don't want to be out all night long. You have a presentation in the morning. You have an important meeting in the morning, right? But they're like, you're no fun. When we used to go out before, right? Before the quarantine, thinking about people not respecting the boundaries that you've set up for yourself to honor and respect your commitments in your life. Anyone that's saying that you're not fun because they want you to break your own commitments that you've made, what kind of friend is that? So you need to ask yourself, well, you know what, girl, I thought you loved me. I thought we were friends. Why would you want me to have problems at work tomorrow when you know I'm working so hard? So it's a matter of questioning people. I'm questioning those friendships when those things come up. And that could also be a family member wanting you to self-sacrifice when they already knew you had those commitments, but they're so used to you coming to their rescue. Now, let me be very clear. I'm not talking about medical emergencies. Clearly, that's not what we would want to do to a family member in a medical emergency. I'm talking about, everybody knows who I'm talking about. There's a family member, somebody has a family member that they need you to like save them from every little thing that goes on in their lives they don't want to handle on their own. And we're always taught to be, good women, right? Especially Latinas, we're always taught like you must be there for your family for everything. But then there's looking at like, well, when are we going to teach people to be there for themselves? I'm self-sufficient. Why can't you be self-sufficient? And, the excuse can be, you help me, you do it so much better than me. But it's about teaching people how to treat us, teaching people how to engage with us. And I think it's really important that we look into Why are people crossing these boundaries with me? Because we don't want to look at everyone in our lives as if, oh, everything's a bad relationship. There comes a point when there are people that are toxic for us. I'm very well aware of that. But then we get to look at, where do we get to take responsibility for that? Now, please understand, when I say responsibility, I don't mean blame. I mean your ability to respond in any situation in your life is your responsibility. It's how you show up and how you respond to the situations that show up in your life. So maybe, not even maybe, when you decide, because I'm letting you know right now, my promise to you is nothing that you want in your life to change is going to change unless you make a decision to change. You need to decide you're going to change something and choose to take action towards that change, even if it's one step. But I ask you today, to make one commitment, right? And we'll go on the list, but in your area of self-love, if that's where you really want to focus, if you want to focus on your female relationships, or if you want to focus on your romantic love, make one decision today. Choose one thing that you're going to do in action to actually make that happen. Because me sharing all these tips with you is great, and I'm happy to do it. But what I want for you is for you to see the changes that you want to see in your life. And I could want it forever, but it's your life. So unless you decide to make the change, it will not happen unless you do it. So I am the guide, I am the channel, but you are the action taker. You are the one that's going to make it happen. I can be that support for you. Las Comadres can be that support with you, with amazing women here that you probably made some beautiful friendships already. And I'm happy to see, I know some ladies in the room, which is beautiful. And to me, that says alignment, which I love. But remember, like, you are being supported already. You are being supported to make those decisions for yourself. That one decision that you can make today, but you got to take it. You got to make the choice to do it. You got to take the action. So remember, make a decision, choose one thing. So going into romantic love, right? So think about, if you have a partner or if you don't, wherever you are right now. So if you have a partner, I want you to consider, how is that relationship going for you? Whether you've been married for a long time or newly married, or you're someone that's in a committed relationship, I want you to think about, how is your communication with your partner? Does your partner hear you and see you for who you really are? Do you feel respected? Do you feel like you're heard in that relationship? And if you don't feel like you are, have you been speaking up in that relationship? Or have you been challenged in that relationship whenever you do speak up? So I want you to really consider that. Or have you been thinking, I'm not saying what I really want to say? Why are you not saying what you really want to say? Do you feel like you're going to be pushed away or disregarded if you do? You're not going to be accepted. You're not going to feel loved. So I invite you to think about the reason you may not be speaking up. Because I know a lot of the time, well, if I challenge this person, they're going to reject me. If I challenge this person, they're going to leave me. So I am not telling you to end your relationship. I am not telling you to end your marriage. But what I am saying is, why do you want to be in a relationship where you speaking up and being who you really are is considered a challenge? Why would you want to be in a relationship or a marriage where you don't get to speak up and they get to? So really consider that, and if you feel like you're not safe, I really want you to look into ways for you so you can be safe. And I will share some information about that with Maria to send to you later. But that's not your fault. And I want you to understand, you just don't deserve to feel unsafe in your relationships. I really want you to get that you deserve to be honored and respected by your intimate partner, by your romantic partner. And I also want to acknowledge the ladies who are dating, because you can still have a relationship with someone and not be exclusive. But if there's someone on your heart that you've been seeing, that you're not in a relationship with them, but you feel like Your friends don't like them for you, right? And you don't feel like your self-loving self when you're with them. I want you to consider why your friends are telling you this. I want you to listen to the people in your life that know that this person isn't healthy for you. And I'll even admit that you know they're not healthy for you. Why are you spending your amazing energy that's valuable? Your time is valuable, your energy is valuable, your heart is valuable, and so is your body. And you as a whole human being is valuable. Why are you spending your time? Why are you investing emotionally in a person that's not emotionally available, that's not making the time, and it's showing you through their actions consistently that they don't want what you want? Why would you want to be with someone who doesn't want those things with you? So I want you to consider those things. Think about them, because you actually deserve to be with a person that wants you for all that you are, that wants to be with you, wants to love you and honor you. And you do the same for them. This isn't a one-way street, ladies. When I'm speaking about this, I want you to know that I already know when we have events like this that us ladies are coming in to understand what's going on in our lives and how we can be better. And if you are in a healthy partnership, if you're in a healthy dating situation, if you're in a healthy marriage, I would always say, look at something new you can learn from and about your partner and something new you can share. It's important to keep being interested in the people that we are invested in. Number one, be interested in yourself, right? Always be curious to learn something new that can improve, you from the inside out with your self-love. And then also, how can you learn more from your friends or have new experiences with your friends? And what's going to lift you all up, right? Joining a community together, taking a virtual dance class or yoga class together, doing like a wind down, a weekly event together. I know Las Comadres has events like that, I think on Fridays. So there are things that you can do to put more juice into these relationships, right? Energy into those relationships. And your romantic relationship and your dating life. What can you do to continue to be curious about each other and learn from one another when the relationship is mutual, when the commitment, when the emotional investment is mutual? So I have a promise to you that I will share. And the promise is I'm going to give you, I've already given a lot of tips, but I promise you I'm going to give you 3 strategies, okay, that are going to support you to actually align with the love you desire. And I feel I've already shared so many, but I feel like these 3, these are my love core principles. And I think it's really important to have principles. I think it's important to have things at your core that matter to you, that are part of your value system. And these 3 love core principles are going to support you to actually have what it is that you want and align. So share with me in the chat, ladies, how's this going so far? What were some of your aha moments already? I know I said so much and I always want to hear more from all of you. Let's see. Tell me what made you decide to join us tonight. Are you more focused on self-love right now? You want some romantic life tips? Let's see. Trying to see. Say, you need, okay, someone says, I can only see your first initial and it starts with the R. And I think it's because of the text on my computer. So I will just read. Someone with the first initial R said, need more self-love and results in healthy eating. Yes. And that's about making the choices, right? Conscious eating, eating for your self-love. How will I feel after I eat this is a good question to ask yourself whenever you choose to eat something. Let's see. Someone came. Oh, you're going so fast. Let's see. I've actually focused a lot on self-love, but now I need to give love to my husband and kids. Yes, and I will say that you focus on yourself and that now you want to give more love to your kids and your husband. Your kids are learning self-love by how you're treating yourself. So know that you're already teaching them that, and that's amazing. Your kids already know self-love because they're watching you do that for yourself. You can teach them that and keep doing more fun things with them. And I'm sure that all that self-love is going to give you enough energy to be with your husband. So that's a whole other topic. Okay. It's beautiful to be reminded about how we deserve to be loved. Yes, it is. What about someone that doesn't have a relationship and is going on dating sites? Let's see. Yes, I would say feel really good about yourself and pour energy into yourself. I think you can make dating sites fun and a really fun experience when you're authentic in your bio about what you're passionate about. And I'm going to go more and more on that in the separate Q&A. I couldn't help. I just really wanted to interact with all of you because I've been talking for so long and I always love to be more interactive. Thank you, Mom. You said my tips are so valid, especially about loving yourself first. Yes, definitely. Someone said, I'm creating a new life, the one that you described about full joy and freedom. Oh, yes, I love that. That's beautiful. Someone recently had a breakup and you're healing. Oh, I'm so happy to hear that you're healing. Healing is amazing. That breakup was about a breakthrough for you, by the way, just so you know. And I'm happy to hear that you're embracing your healing. You're healing and evaluating healthy relationship communication and tips. Yes, I'm all for healthy communication in your relationships. Someone said romantic life tips and compromise versus self-honoring. That's right. When you honor yourself, you never have to compromise. That's a whole other topic, but you're going to start to learn that honoring yourself really gives you space to hear other people. And you really get to still put yourself first when you hear others, because you don't ever need to dishonor you to hear someone else out and make different decisions. So just remember that. Someone's been separated for a year and is getting back into the dating scene. Woo, that's wonderful. Loving myself and bring on the romantic love. Wonderful, I love it. Romantic life tips, please. Okay. Learning to trust again. Oh, I want to hug you. I don't even know who this is. From learning to trust again. I totally get that. That's so amazing. I kid you not that a lot of the times when we go through breakups, a lot of the things that happen when we go back in the dating scene, we get very nervous. And sometimes we think it's because we can't trust the person we're dating, but a lot of the time it's because we can't trust our own decisions. We feel like we deceived ourselves and because we trusted another person, but really they are who they are. And we're like, well, how did I see that? How did I not know? There was something for you to learn, right? Maybe learning, trusting yourself and listening to that voice that knew something was off, and versus just ignoring it. I think a lot of the time as women, we tend to ignore our intuition, and that has us make decisions that we go against ourselves and we end up somewhere we never wanted to be. And I think we got to let go of being so hard on ourselves. And what we get to do is be gentle and kind to ourselves and rebuild that trust. Yes, I unapologetically love me. Yes, beautiful. Long marriage here. Definitely need to find out new things with partner and self. Yes, get curious. And the last person said amen. So I just wanted to hit up those the questions just now to get us all, just the shares, right? I really want you all to know that I hear you, right? I always ask, like, who's in the room? How can I support them? I want you to get the most out of this experience. And definitely, if you have more questions, post them in the chat. Marilyn will pick them up and get to them so we can go through them. So I'm going to share, like I said before, that my promise to you is to give you these 3 tips. And I want you to put them into action. I'm asking you to make that commitment. So anybody that's going to agree to make this commitment, they're promising, I'm going to commit to make one decision. You're going to make one decision that's going to improve the area of love you want to focus on, because everybody in there had a different area. So just say, yes, I'm going to make that one, commitment, one choice. Everybody, whoever is going to make the choice and commit, just say, yes, I'm going to commit. And remember, it's what you decide. I'm not going to be there to do it. Yes, I love it. Just keep saying yes if you're in, because yes, I keep saying the yes is coming through. Wonderful. Make that commitment. You have to, it starts with one step. One courageous step will help you move forward, because we can give you all the tips in the world and the strategies and the support, but it's your life. And if you're not making the choice to align with what you want, we cannot do that for you, right? We cannot live your beautiful life for you. Your beautiful life is for you to live. We can be a part of it, but we're not the ones leading your life, right? We're here to support the journey that you're on. So the first strategy, the first love core principle, the first tip is get real. And Get Real is about looking at the current reality of where you are right now, where you are right now in your self-love, where you are right now in with your female relationships, with your sisterhood, and where you are in your romantic life. So my question to you is, what is the current reality for the area of love that you're focused on right now? Is it where you want to be right now? Is it not? You can shout out and tell me in the chat if it is or if it isn't, right? Like, you're not where you want to be right now, or I am where I want to be right now, whatever that looks like for you. But if you're not where you want to be right now, if you are, great, but if you're not, I want you to think about why. So also consider that all of the choices that you've made up until now that have got you exactly where you are right now are because you chose specific choices that led you to these results. And if it's not where you want to be, you need to ask yourself, what do I keep choosing in love? And who do I keep choosing in love? Do I keep choosing to honor me, or do I go against me to keep a certain person in my life? Whether that's a romantic partner, or whether that's a friendship that I know that's not filling me up, where it's a friendship where I am the sidekick and I'm not really being honored for who I am. Or it's a friendship I hide in because I'm afraid to be who I really am. Or it's a relationship where I'm hiding behind my partner, or I'm dating people that don't want what I want, or I'm dating someone that I really wish they were the one. And I keep investing my time and energy and even my body, hoping that they're going to change and want a commitment with me. Or I'm running from love. I want it, but I'm running away from it through dating multiple people who I know don't want the same things. And it's a self-fulfilling prophecy of, oh, I'm never going to find love. Look how things keep showing up for me. And I want you to get that this reality is just a current reality. It's not a permanent reality. And that's why you're here today, because we're going to make changes today. You're going to make a choice that's going to have you make changes. So recognize it's not permanent. It's not permanent. Today, you get to decide what gets to end that's not working in your love life. And remember, when I say your love life, I mean every area of love. Okay, every area where you love people and you can give love and receive love, that's what we're talking about. We're going to align with the love that you want, because when we're aligned at the heart center, that is when we attract the right relationships. But even if you attract the right relationships, it is your choice to engage and entertain those relationships for them to come to fruition, right? Because you can meet all the right people, right, for the female friendships, but if you don't choose to engage in those relationships and entertain those relationships, you're not going to have them, right? If you don't pour into your friendships and if you don't receive from your friendships, it's going to be out of alignment. And the same thing if you don't pour into a partner, and if they don't pour into you, right? If they're not pouring into you, it's important for you to look at, well, how could this ever be aligned when I'm running on empty and all I'm doing is giving? When there's no reciprocity, how can this be right for me? How can this be aligned? It's not. I'm here to tell you it is not aligned if you are the only one investing emotionally, physically, spiritually, mentally. Like if you are like the be all end all and giving to this person, and in the end, like your ROE, and to me is return on emotion, return on energy, right? If you're not getting that return when you're pouring into someone, that's out of alignment. And of course, how can you have anything left for you if you're pouring into people who don't pour into you? You've given everything and now there won't be anything left for you. So how, I'm about to ask you the self-love question, but if those are some of the things you're going through, how will there be anything left for you? Why would there be anything left for you if you continue to pour into people who aren't pouring into you? And remember that I want you to always take responsibility because you're powerful. Don't think for 1 minute that you're not powerful. Even if you're in a situation that's not ideal for you, like that doesn't mean you're not powerful. That just means your GPS is, was leading you in the wrong direction. So you get to turn your internal GPS around or recalculate it and go in a different direction. because you get to feel full to the rim. And the big thing about self-love is that you get to really pour into yourself with self-love. Like we were talking about this earlier, me, Maria, and Marilyn were talking about doing our nails and doing our hair and doing things that make us feel good. And it's the little things you can start with, because you can go from doing yoga, which Sandra shared that she did today. She took yoga, and there's taking dance classes, and there's also just getting a massage or just relaxing, reading a book, maybe just having a glass of wine and reflecting and just relaxing, but doing the things that begin to put your body and your soul at ease, little things pouring into you. So you can do the deeper self-love work, because it really just starts with one decision. And I'm going to keep saying that, because I find that we could have all the knowledge and do nothing. So it's kind of like, you want to work out, you should work out, or you think you should work out, but you just think about it and never do it. But if you don't choose to do something, your body isn't going to feel the way you want your body to feel. And notice how I didn't say look. And the reason why I say look is because we're all different shapes and sizes. We were all made beautiful. And what's beautiful for you may not feel beautiful for someone else based on what they feel about themselves. So doing the little things in self-love, from doing your nails and your hair down to doing the deep internal heart work to heal, they're really two different sides of the spectrum. But sometimes when you start doing the little things to support yourself, that little step gives you the courage to do the big things, the deep inner work. And I'm going to invite you today, because you're not doing your nails today on the event, at least I don't think you are. I'm going to invite you to start doing that deep work. I'm going to invite you to start doing the work to heal, because when I work with women, I do heart work with them, and I'm that loving guide that supports them to do it, because there's such a passion that they have for actually transforming their lives emotionally. And I think that it's important to be courageous to take those steps to transform yourself. So I feel like ladies that are here are curious about that and want to see what that looks like. So I invite you to consider that being one of the big steps you take today, in addition to connecting with your female friends and your family members, and as well as the love that you have for yourself, in addition to whatever partner you have, or letting go of a partner that may not be aligned for you. And that takes courage. So I want you to get that there is support for you to actually do that. Those of you who might be a little bit nervous and afraid, there are support systems for you to actually do that for yourself. So like I said before, in the point Get Real, to wrap that up, it's really important to think about why you keep choosing those things and who you keep choosing. For Get Clear is the second one. For the Love Core Principle number 2, get clear is two things. One, what do you want? You need to ask yourself, what do I want? Do I want more self-love? Do I want a relationship, or do I want to get out of a relationship that's unhealthy? You have to ask yourself and have clarity. What is it that you actually want? Now, when you're clear on what it is that you want, the second part of Get Clear is, okay, what do I need to let go of physically and emotionally to have this? That can mean letting go of bad habits. That can be letting go of a partner that's not right for you. Letting go of a friendship that's not healthy for your love life as well. Sometimes there are friends that don't support our love journey, and you need to consider that as well. But to go deeper into the love life piece, you're going to have to let go of exes, right? The people that you call, you go back to when you feel lonely or scared or whatever the case may be. You're going to have to let go of those relationships on an emotional level. And if you're still engaging sexually with a partner that you know is not right for you and it's not aligned with what you want, you need to let go of the physical aspect as well. So it's about creating emotional, physical, and sexual space in your life to attract the partner that's actually aligned with you. And the final one is get ready. So get ready is about being in complete alignment. And how do you do that? I'm going to suggest a couple of ways. One is, if you're interested in, stepping up in your love life, I think it's a great opportunity for you to do that now with this beautiful, loving energy. And I think it's something that you should consider for yourself, doing a love coaching course. You can take a love coaching course, or you can work privately with a coach. I actually have a course called Level Up Your Love Life. And that course is a 10-day challenge for the soulful boss lady who's ready to align with her love goals. So it's something that you could do at your own pace. The class starts on Valentine's Day, and it's something you can do as you self-love and chill if that's where you are in your life right now. And you can look at ways to step up for yourself and do things at your own pace, because I recognize that not everyone is ready to work with someone privately, but you can do things on your own pace at your own time. You can also hire a love coach if you're interested in working with me. That's something that you can work with me privately. And I believe they'll be sharing the links for that in the chat. But I wanted to let you know there is support available to you. And also, if you want to connect to have a love coaching sisterhood, I have another opportunity. If you're interested in joining my Glow Up Inner Circle membership, that's something that's launching very soon. You can actually look into that, because in addition to being part of beautiful Las Comadres, there's other communities as well you can join. So you can definitely tap into this community right here. And maybe you haven't been building relationships here. Maybe this is the time for you to connect in Las Comadres to find women to support you on your journey. Because as you do coaching courses, I will say when I work with clients, I ask them, who in your life can support you on this journey? Obviously me as the coach, but who in your life is supporting you taking this courageous step? Because it can be very lonely sometimes when we take that on and we want to share with people in our lives and there aren't the people to share. So that's why I created the community as well, because I wanted there to be a membership for the people that work with me to be able to speak with one another and lift each other up. So I want you to look into those opportunities. So I'll go even deeper into Get Ready before we open the Q&A officially, and say that for Get Ready, it is really about making commitments to new lifestyle practices. So this is the point in time where this was where you can be completely supported to align. So if you really want to align with what you actually say you want, and when you let go of those people that are holding you back emotionally, sexually, mentally, physically, in whatever way, it's time to align. So now that you let that go, there's going to be like an empty space. You're going to feel a lightness, and maybe you're going to feel a tug to fill it with a whole bunch of other things. But no, you just remove those things that were clogging your love space. You don't want to just stuff it with things. You actually want to decide, what are the healthy lifestyle practices, and what are the healthy choices that I can make in my relationships? What are the habits that I have that support me, and what are the ones that don't? So remember, like 3 self-sabotaging behaviors that you have, because everybody has self-sabotaging behaviors. It's best to know who you are and what those things are. And I want you to flip those self-sabotaging behaviors. And what if you could do the thing that didn't self-sabotage you in those 3 areas of life that you know you're self-sabotaging? So what's one area of your self-love that you can stop self-sabotaging and actually support yourself? So what's the way you can support yourself to get you to stop? Is that negative self-talk? Is how you're speaking yourself not supporting you? Do you speak to yourself the way a best friend speaks to you, or do you speak to yourself the way someone doesn't love you would speak to you? So you get to start being your own best friend. That's one way you can get ready. The second one is in your female friendships. Are you consistently choosing people that aren't right or healthy for you now that you've let some of those relationships go? Can you stop looking for people's approval when you choose relationships, when you choose your friendships? Stop choosing friendships where you feel like you need to seek approval. And also, that's something to work on in your self-love too, because the only person that should be validating you is yourself. So that's a whole other topic. But I really do want you to get into understanding, what place do I choose those relationships from? Do I choose my relationships from a place of self-love and confidence and self-worth and joy? Or am I choosing my relationships based on status? Am I choosing them based on what I think the level of life this person is in, and I want to live up to be like them? And you start doing comparisons, and that has you be in a downward spiral of not having an aligned relationship in your female friendships. So consider what you can flip. And the third point, as far as romantic love goes, wow. So I feel like there's so many that I can say to you to flip, but really about the habit you can let go of right now is thinking I need someone to have love, right? Choosing partners where I feel like I need them to feel fulfilled. So recognizing where you choose people that don't make you feel whole because part of you doesn't feel whole and there's a mirrored insecurity coming from the partner. So thinking about like where you can be courageous and start being authentic on your dating profile. Start saying no to people you know you would have no future with. Um, and recognizing it's something casual. Starting to say no to people that when you discover that these people or this person is not what you want, letting them go sooner than you normally would. Because I find a lot of the time, if you keep dating people that are not right for you, it's because you've let them stay way too long past the expiration date of when they should have been gone, when you recognize this person is not the right person for me to build a life with. So you have to start cutting people off. And that's not to say to be mean, but recognizing that they're not right for you and you're not right for them either. So I want you to really get that it's okay to let go. So I'm wrapping up. So what's next, right? I mentioned before, what's next is you could either start doing the same things, right? You have two choices: do the same things over and over on your own and never get to where you really want to be. Or, like I said, make one decision. You can actually choose a different way of showing up in your life, a new lifestyle practice for your self-love, for your female friendships, and your romantic life, right? So I'm going to start taking Q&A. Thank you so much. I think I went past time, ladies. I had so much to share with all of you. Okay, let's see. Hey, Marilyn.
Right, so we're back. I want to welcome everyone to throw in your questions into the chat room. If you don't have access to the chat box and you want to just speak your question, you can unmute your line and ask your question. So go ahead, ladies, come on in. We'll be checking the chat for your questions. Let's see what we have in here. I have someone that's asking if you could repeat the piece about creating emotional and physical space in your life.
Yes. So yes, creating emotional and physical space in your life was part of tip number 2. And tip number 2 is get clear. So this is about having emotional clarity. It's about decluttering your emotional life, right? So, and when you determine what it is that you want, which is the first piece of get clear, say, I want a vibrant sex life. I want a vibrant, healthy, mutually committed relationship, romantic relationship, or, whatever it is that you want. It's about doing the inner work to let go of what you're holding on to, right? Sometimes we're holding on to an image of the relationship that's not really there. We're holding on to old text messages. We're holding on to old voicemails. We're holding on to things people said that they never backed up with actions. They just said words and their actions contradicted it. And we're holding on to like the dream of what we think is going to turn out, but it's actually not, because the person wasn't being honest. And we're also not being honest with ourselves, but we're holding on to the dream, or we're holding on to the pain, right? So if you were heartbroken from something that went on in your life where you thought you were going to be with someone, and I'm saying relationships in general, I'm just going to speak from that place so you can understand the depths of it, because you can put the self-love piece in there, you could put the female relationship piece in there, but where there was a promise broken or someone betrayed you, you could have betrayed yourself. So that's the part where you need to forgive yourself, which is where you start to heal. Forgive yourself for not loving yourself in the way you deserve to be loved, in the way you needed to be loved by yourself. And then forgive yourself for holding on to the betrayals. And what I mean by that is, I'm not saying forgiving people and allowing them to do whatever they want into your life. Forgiving to stop holding your heart prisoner from something that happened in the past and reliving the pain. Because if we're reliving pain consistently, we're not going to allow ourselves to experience joy in that specific area of life. If you're reliving the pain of a breakup without doing the work to heal, how will you ever attract love when your heart is closed and you don't feel the love that you actually want to receive? There's no space because your heart is cluttered from the betrayals. And I want to say this again. This is about releasing the pain that's on your heart that's holding you back. Holding you back. It's not about allowing people to come back into your life and step all over your heart again. And the second part about the physical, are you holding on to items from a past love or a friend that doesn't spark joy anymore? Are you holding on to things that are keeping you with them? Do you still have the keys to their house? Do you, if you don't have kids together, you understand. If you're holding on to things that will only keep you attached to them that you don't even need, right? You know when you're holding on to something that you don't need. You know you have a pair of jeans in your house that don't belong to you, that you're holding on to them. Get rid of that. That's all of that holds energy in your space telling you that you still want them around. I really believe there's spirit in all the things that we have in our home. And I really think it's important for us to recognize that we hold on to mementos, right? Think about when you have pictures and you want to hold on to the energy of people. So then you hold on to beautiful memories of your family and your friends, of yourself, but then are we holding on to things that are holding us back? And if you're physically intimate, that's definitely holding you back from being with another person because their energy is being linked to yours spiritually. And I really believe sex is a spiritual experience. And when you are consistently engaging in that activity with another person, you're linking their energy to yours. And how are you going to detach from a person you are intimately, spiritually linking to consistently? So it's about letting go and doing the work to heal emotionally. I can support with that. That's how I support my clients because it's a lot of work to let that go, but it does work. Sometimes we need support to do that. But it does start with you recognizing what you need to let go of. I hope that answers the question. I'll take another question. Please be gentle with yourself and reach out if you want to do work with me.
Lisa, we have a question about dating sites. And the difficulty with dating sites and trying to screen who's being honest and who's really not can be very frustrating. Do you have any suggestions or tips on this?
Oh yes, absolutely. It's so different now because of the quarantine. I think that, okay, first, if you want to make sure someone's not catfishing you, obviously ask for pictures when you look at the pictures on the site. But since we're not really going out to date, a phone conversation can start, and then eventually you can move over to a Zoom date if you want to talk to someone for a few minutes and get to see who they really are. This worked really well for a client of mine before the pandemic, that she would do a 15-minute or 10-minute video chat with her date to see if it was really her date, to see if they had a synergy. And if it's kind of like virtual coffee. So I wouldn't get so deeply invested in anyone if I hadn't done virtual coffee. So my recommendations for you is to do virtual coffee. And before you agree to do virtual coffee, I would ask them some qualifying questions. Here's some of the qualifying questions. Have you ever been married? Are you currently married? Yes, I said it. I know I said that. You have to ask these questions because a lot of people today are not being honest. And if you don't ask the direct questions, it's very unlikely you're going to get direct, honest answers. It's unfortunate, but it's just the way things are today, with there being so much accessibility to find people to date or hook up with. That's what it's come to. So asking have they ever been married? If they're currently married, if they've been married, are they legally divorced? And if they pass that part of the test, you can say, you can ask them if, are you single? And they're probably gonna be laughing by now if you keep asking these questions, but you need to keep asking them because you're better off asking these questions right now, because if someone is serious about you and is serious about their own love journey, they're going to answer your questions. So keep asking that. Ask if they're single. Ask is there anybody that believes that they're their girlfriend? Like, these are funny questions, but I'm telling you, if you get these uncomfortable questions out of the way, once you start to, this is what happens when the guy wants to ask you on a date or whatever the case may be. Ask all those questions and they move forward with you from there. There's someone that wants to get to know you better. And you can never say that you didn't ask those questions. It will never be your fault because you didn't know something. You knew because you asked. All that you can do after that is if they pass that part and you do a coffee date, which is like a virtual coffee in the daytime. I recommend the daytime. I don't recommend alcohol. Get to know people in the afternoon, work that out. It could be a weekend or a weekday. And just, do virtual coffee for like 10, 15 minutes. And, you could do it a half hour, depends on your comfort level. If you feel like you're vibing with them, and you can take it from there. But on dating sites, my joke has always been, people look like their worst picture. People look like their worst picture. So whatever picture they like the least is usually the one they look like. But I think it's important to ask those uncomfortable questions because I'm telling you, they can save you heartbreak down the line. But that's how you can start. If I don't recommend Tinder, I'm just gonna be real. I recommend dating websites like eHarmony, Match, a website where you could actually set up a real profile and there's actual qualifiers, not where they could just throw a quick profile and they're done. And this is as a professional, that's my recommendation. Too many of my clients get headaches from Tinder, and I'm not going to recommend a place where you're going to get headaches. I've heard Happen is really good too. There's one called Happen, HAPPN. You kind of meet people that are in your area, but since we're not really walking around that much, I would stick to, like I said originally, the dating websites where you need to put full-blown profiles up and pictures and get qualifying like quizzes and like go through a whole thing because it helps people be more qualified. And by the way, I don't recommend free stuff. And the reason why I don't recommend free is that you want to at least find men that are invested in the process. Because if they're financially invested, they're not just swiping left on people. Do you understand? Like there's someone that filled out a profile to be on the site for a while. So at least there is some level of investment, and it also has you be invested as well. So that's my recommendation for dating sites. I hope that supported the person.
Thank you, Lisa.
Any other questions?
I think that's it for now. We have to wrap up. It is 7 o'clock. I want to respect people's time. So thank you everyone for coming. Thank you, Lisa. This is great content.
Thank you. I just wanted to say if anyone is looking to really just, jumpstart their love life again, my course, Level Up Your Love Life, it begins on Valentine's Day. You can go to lisatalkslove.com/level up. Again, it's lisatalkslove.com/level up if you'd like to enroll in the course. And I just wanted to say that for anybody listening or listening later. And I know they're going to be sharing in the chat as well a way that you can find me and the email later to work with me if you're interested in doing that. And I'm wishing you all an amazing love. Thank you so much, Maria and Marilyn, for inviting me to be part of this community. I truly appreciate you ladies. And to everyone listening, remember, you matter, you're enough, you're valuable, and you deserve the love that you want.
Thank you so much, Lisa.
Hey, Lisa, quick question. Is your course virtual with you or online self-paced?
It's virtual online self-paced, and it's a video course. So you'll see me. You'll see me. So if you're interested in working with me personally, you can go to my website, lisatalkslove.com, and the membership I have that's coming up in March, the Glow Up Inner Circle, will be me live there. I will be there live for Glow Up Inner Circle. But this one I did for people who are more private and they just kind of want to learn at their own pace. They're not necessarily ready to work with a coach yet. I just wanted to support all learning styles and all stages of the journey. I've come to learn that, I want to meet you where you are and, support you in the best way that I can. And thank you for that question, Sandra.
Okay, we have the link in the chat. If anyone missed it earlier, it's on there.
Yes, and it links you to all my services. Thank you so much for that.
You're welcome. Thank you for giving such good, valuable information for our comadres. And thank you, comadres, for joining tonight. Have a great night.
Yes.
Good night. Thank you, ladies.
Happy GALentine's Day. Happy Lunar New Year.
Yes.
Yes.